Out of everyone crammed into that booth at MacLaren's, Marshall Erickson, he was the soft one.
Oh my God, look at the little baby! She's so cute.
He was the believer of the group, the guy who teared up at weddings and wrote down baby names back in college.
You name a chubby white kid LeBron, and he's the one getting stuffed in the basketball hoop.
Then I'm also crossing off Shaquille.
He genuinely thought most people were good underneath, and the show seemed to take that as a personal challenge.
I begged my body not to do it, but it was no use. Oh, God.
So guys, here is the part that always sneaks up on people. For the character everyone calls the happiest, most wholesome guy on the show, the writers put Marshall through more real, bone-deep heartbreak than just about anyone else at that table.
My dad said?
So today, you and me, we're going through every single time How I Met Your Mother decided to wreck the big guy, and why, every time, the whole internet felt it right along with him. Number 1, the summer she left. So for a season and a half, Marshall and Lily were the couple the entire show leaned on. They had 9 years together, an engagement, and the kind of steady love every other messy story got measured against.
I got a paper to write. Okay, fine, but it's gotta be like super quick and no cuddling after.
I'm the luckiest girl alive.
Then Lily got into a summer art fellowship in San Fran, and that steady thing, it caught fire faster than anyone was ready for. The fight that followed blew up right past the art program and landed somewhere much scarier for him.
What if you decide to go be a painter and then you realize I don't fit into your life anymore and 3 months becomes forever? Can you promise me that that's not gonna happen?
That is a man already grieving a summer that hasn't even started yet. Then came the most Marshall beat of the whole breakup because he starts to cry and Lily panics so hard she invents an imaginary country on the spot.
No, we're on pause. There's no crying in Pause Land. Pause Land is a magical place with popcorn shrimp mountains and butter sauce rivers.
Pauseland, the only amusement park ever built to dodge one honest conversation. But Pause quietly curdled into goodbye, and by the next season's premiere, he is standing in that apartment drawing a line that he will regret all summer long.
If we don't talk for a while.
For a while. Try never, okay? You walk out that door and we're done. You're never gonna hear my voice again.
And she walked out, which kicked off 30 straight days of a grown man slowly falling apart on that couch.
It's Pancakes Day.
Lily always made the pancakes. God, I loved her pancakes. So soft, so warm, so perfectly shaped.
Are we still talking about our pancakes?
When a man starts eulogizing breakfast, y'all already know how bad it is. He finally scraps together the nerve to call her though, but even that last scrap of dignity, it gets taken from him.
I won't call her. I will not call her. Well, I called her, and get this. She changed her number. What, like I'm gonna stalk her or something? Like she's so special.
And here's the part that really stuck with people though. Go back through the threads on this arc, and the sympathy, guys, it's real, and a lot of it comes out as straight up anger at Lily. A whole chunk of the fanbase walked away from this stretch deciding that, as one widely shared take puts it, Lily doesn't deserve Marshall, he's way too good. The show wanted us aching for them to reunite, but plenty of viewers just got quietly furious at her instead. Which makes it almost unfair that the very next gut punch showed up wearing the costume of their happy ending. So kids, a couple of seasons later, Marshall finally gets to chase the dream he had been quietly building since college. A place of their own with room for a family. He falls for an apartment so fast that the realtor barely finishes the pitch.
I have to tell you, for these prices, you're not going to be able to find another thing that...
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I love it. Let's get it.
Never let the human golden retriever sign the mortgage. Just, no, don't do it. Don't let it happen. The first crack, though, shows up at the bank when the loan comes back at a number that makes the whole table wince.
Congratulations. You have been approved for a loan at 18%.
No, what? That can't be right.
You're lucky to be getting a mortgage.
Marshall assumes it is his own student loans dragging them down, and he is so apologetic about it that it almost hurts to watch. But then, the banker corrects him on the spot, right in front of his wife.
You have quite a bit of debt.
My student loans. Great.
Actually, it's because of your wife's credit card debt.
Ah, yes, nothing says romance like learning your spouse's biggest secret from a dude wearing a tie. And there it is, the blind side that the whole episode was hiding. The person he trusts most has been quietly sitting on crushing debt the entire time. And he's finding it out from a stranger with a spreadsheet.
Marshall, there's something I have to tell you, and I want you to hear it from me first.
But here's the beat that makes you ache for him and root for him in the very same breath.
When I married you, I married your problems too. The ones I knew about and the ones I didn't. So that was the deal. We'll figure this out together.
He married her problems sight unseen, and the show made sure he paid every single bill. The fans, they clocked every bit of it too. The moment shows up constantly in the threads about Lily, where people point out that she hid a shopping addiction and credit card debt that she never told her own fiancé about.
I have 15 credit cards, and they're all maxed out. And no one outside of this room, not even my husband, knows. And I feel terrible because all I want to do right now is ask you where you got those shoes. They're adorable.
Plenty of viewers take it even further, arguing that Marshall would have become an environmental lawyer a lot sooner if it had not been for that debt. And so, speaking of the bill, the debt is about to cost Marshall something he cared about even more than the apartment. So Marshall takes a corporate law job to start digging them out of that hole, and the job, it turns out to be exactly as soul-flattening as it sounds. His boss screams at him for sport.
I begged my body not to do it, but it was no use.
Oh, God.
And Marshall, being Marshall, physically cannot bring himself to pass that cruelty down the line to anybody else.
I am not gonna scream at the waiter, Barney.
Yes, you are.
Most people, they kick the dog. Marshall apologized to it. And Big Barney, he lays out the whole corporate food chain. The idea that the abuse just gets handed downward forever. And Marshall genuinely tries to play the game, but then it collapses into the most honest thing he could possibly say.
I don't want any of this. This is not why I became a lawyer. This is not the person that I wanted to be. I quit! Arthur, I quit!
He failed at being cruel the way most people fail at being kind. So he walks away from the paycheck on principle, which is brave and also terrifying because they still owe everything. And the weight that lands on him next is not pride. Guys, it is pure dread about what he has to go home and admit.
How am I supposed to tell the person who I love more than anything in this world that I've just thrown away our future?
The one guy too kind for the job is, of course, the one guy who loses it. This is the quiet pattern that the show keeps running on with Marshall, where his decency, the exact thing everybody loved him for, is constantly the thing that costs him. He's too soft for the world the writers keep dropping him into, and you spend the whole episode just wishing that the world would cut him one break, like, please, bro. But he would not get that break because the bills don't care how principled you are. This is America, and a few months later, Marshall has to make the one trade he swore he never would. Alright, here's what makes this particular one sting so much. Marshall, he never wanted to be a corporate lawyer in the first place. He wanted to be an environmental lawyer, the guy who actually fixes things. Lily says it out loud, proud of him for it.
They're hiring in the legal department. I could get you a job.
Barney, Marshall didn't quit his last soul-sucking corporate job just to go work at a bank. He's gonna be an environmental lawyer.
But the dream job doesn't call him back. The debt, it doesn't wait, and we watch him slowly get ground down until he comes home with the news he never wanted to bring. When Lily asks where, the answer is the one he has been dreading the whole way home.
I got a job.
What? Where?
Goliath National Bank.
Of course, the literal gentle giant ends up working for a place called
Goliath National Bank, the world leader in credit and banking. God, I love Goliath National Bank.
But he even dresses the surrender up as something hopeful, which is somehow worse than if he had just been bitter about it.
It's great pay, and there's good benefits. And to be honest, it gives me a reason to put on pants in the morning.
Nothing says follow your dreams like trading them in for solid dental coverage. The episode ends on him quietly talking himself into giving up, and you can almost hear that college kid he used to be saying goodbye. The fandom, though, they never quite forgave the circumstances here. The common read in the threads is that Marshall keeps sacrificing his dreams for everyone else, while almost nobody sacrifices much for his. And people specifically resent that the debt forcing this was not his to begin with. He gave up saving the planet to go save somebody else's credit score. And if watching this man get repeatedly dunked on is somehow making you love him even more, do what he would do and hit the like and subscribe button. You know he would do it because he's so nice. But anyway, guys, trust me, you want to be here for what comes up next, because up until now, the show had only been taking things away from Marshall. But next, it took the one person he was never built to lose. So by season 6, Marshall wants one thing more than any job, and that is to be a dad. He and Lily have been trying for a while. It has not been easy.
We're doing it a lot.
And everywhere. The kitchen, the bathroom, the living room, outside in your the kitchen.
And the whole arc is built on him aching to finally get the good news worth sharing. Because Marshall has this small, sweet rule that the episode quietly turns into a trap.
But I thought you talked to your dad about everything.
I only like to call my dad with good news. I mean, telling him good news is what makes it feel real to me.
So he keeps letting his dad's calls slide to voicemail, smiling, planning to call back the second he has the all clear. Then the doctor fakes him out with the worst possible setup.
It is very unlikely that you'll be able to father a child.
Oh, God.
I know.
It's just...
Surprise!
Damn it, Barney!
What are you doing in here?
And then, after a long pause, comes the relief.
Your sperm is fine.
My sperm is fine!
There it is, the good news, the exact thing he has been waiting for so he can finally make that perfect phone call. He turns, lit up, to make the call that he wanted to make all episode long.
Can you believe it?
Marshall, something's happened. Your father, he had a heart attack. He didn't make it.
This is the one that defines the entire series. Ask people for the single saddest moment in the entire series, and this is the answer almost every time. Guys, I'm not joking, by the way. I'm serious. Outlets like Entertainment Weekly, IGN, and Variety all rank the episode among the show's very best, and the reason it lands so hard, it's buried in the details. The episode, it hides a countdown from 50 to 1 in the background of every scene, quietly ticking towards that doorway. And Jason Segel was not even told what was coming because the script only said that Lily tells Marshall some news. So the moment you are watching him break, it's real, caught in a single take.
My dad's dead?
But the show wasn't done with this grief, however. It just moved it to the place that hurt the most, which was the funeral. So the follow-up episode drops us straight into the funeral, and it quietly hands everyone a job here. Lily takes care of his mom, Robin handles the logistics, and Barney and Ted decide their sacred duty is to make a grieving Marshall laugh, mostly with videos of guys getting hit in the groin.
What's the one thing that always cracks him up?
Internet footage of a guy getting hit in the nuts.
Internet footage of a guy getting hit in the nuts, exactly. So we are gonna get our bro a 4-star Nad Rattler.
Leave it to those two guys to fight death itself with nut shots. But Marshall is stuck on one unbearable thought, though, because he cannot remember his dad's actual last words to him, and the ones he can remember are small and stupid and now permanent.
Plain food is ass. Plain food is ass.
Those are the last words my father will ever say to me. Right after I denied the man a pork chop. Oh, God.
Then he realizes there is one voicemail from his dad that he never listened to, the literal last words his father ever left him, and he is terrified of what they might turn out to be.
I hold in my hand the last words my father will ever say to me. I'm gonna hit play.
Before he can bring himself to face it, the grief just pours out of him in front of the entire room.
My dad was my hero, and he was my teacher, and he was my best friend. He always came through for me, and now he's just gone.
And when he finally plays it, the message, it turns out to be a pocket dial, and then almost by accident, it hands him the one thing he was praying for.
Your mom and I had such a great time seeing you. I love you.
I love you. My father's last words to me are, I love you.
Critics who pick the show apart for a living basically put their pens down for this one, with the AV Club calling the voicemail scene one of the most affecting of the whole season, full of genuine feeling and unexpected grace. And there is a small behind-the-scenes detail that makes it land even harder, because Jason Segel reportedly needed several takes here since he kept crying too hard to get the words out. And now you might think the show would let him heal after that one, but a year later it showed us he was still carrying the whole thing completely alone. A full year after the funeral, Marshall goes back to Minnesota on his own and does the single most Marshall thing imaginable.
The most appropriate way to honor your memory today is to get blasted and watch the Vikings make the Bears their furry little bitches. Go Vikes!
He sets up a tailgate party at his father's grave, because tailgating a Vikings game was always their thing together.
That's how the government covered up the UFO crash in Roswell, by canning the sliced up alien carcasses and calling it spam.
He keeps insisting to everyone around him that he's completely fine and that he just wants one quiet moment alone with his dad.
Well, I just want to check out the score.
Actually, I'm trying to have a private moment with my dad, so...
Oh.
Grieving alone at a tailgate party, it's somehow the saddest and the most Minnesotan thing imaginable. But then the real thing underneath finally slips out, and it is quieter and sadder than any big dramatic breakdown could have ever been.
With you gone, I feel the mystical a little less.
Can you hand me the chips?
Sometimes I feel you a little less.
The actual gut punch arrives completely by accident from a total stranger who never even knew his father.
Hey, Marvin, can you pass me a burger? Hey, not Marvin. Marshall, sorry. It's just, you're so much like your pop.
That is the entire ache of grief packed into one mixed-up name. The show let Marshall go back to being the funny, hopeful one again, but it never once pretended that he simply bounced back. And that honestly is exactly why it lands. Then, the last big test the show threw at him was not about losing somebody, though. It was about whether he would ever, even once, choose himself. So, by the final season, Marshall and Lily, they have a plan. And that plan is to move to Italy for Lily's dream art job.
All right, we're going to Italy.
See?
You may not know this yet, but I've already done some shopping.
Marshall, he's fully on board because of course he is, but then, out of nowhere, Marshall gets offered the one thing he has wanted his entire career, a judgeship in New York.
Well, I have good news. We have a last-minute opening on the bench.
What are you saying to me right now?
I'm saying congratulations. We want you to be a judge.
And it drops him into a genuinely impossible spot here. The man finally lands his dream, and his very first instinct is to feel guilty about it.
And then I got offered a job as a judge in New York City, which is my dream. But that'll totally destroy her dream.
You are destroying a lot of dreams right now.
So he does something deeply on Marshall and takes the job in secret, then spends entire episodes terrified that Lily is going to find out.
Why did you post that judge photo?
Because I'm guilty of being one proud mama.
Lily doesn't know that I took the job, so if she sees it, I'm dead. Just take it down, okay?
And when it finally does come out, it's not pretty at all.
I'm gonna be a judge.
Screwing up their whole plan to move to Italy. She wasn't happy.
Yes, I'm in a rotten mood. No, I don't want to talk about it. Yes, this has booze in it. No, it's not my first.
He hid his own lifelong dream from his wife like it was a crime scene. Now, here is where the fandom genuinely splits, and I'm not gonna pretend y'all that it doesn't. One camp and outlets like Looper back this read. It feels Lily went too far and that Marshall is once again the one expected to give everything up.
That hobby is my dream. We're going to Italy.
But it's my dream to...
We are going to Italy.
Baby, can you just...
We are going to Italy.
The other camp argues that he is the unreasonable one for hiding it in the first place, and both sides will absolutely fight you about it. But what is really not up for debate is that, in the end, it is Lily who gives up Italy so they can both chase their dreams in New York.
But setting aside the fact that all of our friends are here and that we don't speak Italian, if we stay in New York, we both get to follow our dreams. Are we really gonna go someplace where only one of us gets to do that?
Of course not.
Well, then how can you... Wait, what?
For once, the universe lets Marshall keep the dream, and fans still needed a referee. Which brings us right back to the question this whole list has been circling the entire time. So, why did this show, a straight-up comedy, keep handing its softest character its single heaviest moments? Well, watch it all back and the answer is honestly kind of beautiful. We felt bad for Marshall every single time precisely because he was the one person we trusted to stay good all the way through it.
Oh my God, he's trying to seduce me.
So are you gonna go to dinner with him?
No, no way. I promised myself to the NRDC. I'm not that kind of lawyer.
And the fans clearly feel the exact same way about him. In the big fan rankings, Marshall lands right near the very top, regularly called the most likable main character on the whole show, the heart of the friend group, the one everybody else ran to when they needed a shoulder.
A guy called Ted Mosby. A guy who's uncynical and sincere and believed in things. And you know what, Ted? I believe that deep down, you're still that guy.
He was basically the human equivalent of a warm cabin in the middle of a blizzard.
Who wouldn't want to snuggle up next to this business on a Sunday morning, wrapped in a comforter and it's raining outside and there's muffins warming in the oven? I'm cuddly, bitch. Deal with it.
And that is the whole trick the writers quietly pulled on us. They know that hurting Marshall would land harder than hurting anyone else, because he never once turned bitter about a single bit of it. He lost the girl and waited for her. He forgave the person who drained their savings. His dream job slipped away, and he still dressed the surrender up as hope. And when he lost his dad, he somehow kept showing up for everybody else.
I'm never gonna talk to my dad again. But your dad is alive, and he lives just down the road.
Everyone else on the show got an arc, while Marshall just kept getting handed the bill.
Oh, for the love of God, guys, enough already.
What, baby?
You've been treating me with kid gloves ever since my dad died.
He took every punch the writers threw and somehow stayed the nicest guy in the room.
One thing I do know is that if she's there sitting at the airport alone, I have to go get her. Those are the rules.
So feeling bad for Marshall, it was never really about pity at all. It was the show reminding us over and over again that the kindest guy at the table was also the one getting tested the hardest, and that he kept passing the test anyway.
I vow to keep at least 80% of these vows.
That seems high.
Then I vow to keep updating them as we go.
And so, my friends, that is the strange truth of it. The happiest guy on How I Met Your Mother quietly carried the saddest highlight reel of anyone at that booth. And I'm talking about from the summer Lily left, all the way to a voicemail he was too scared to play. And he carried every bit of it without ever once stopping being the soft one. And if even a single one of these moments got to you, whether it was the breakup or the bank or that doorway and bad news, drop the one that wrecked you the most down in the comments because, I actually do read them. And if you want the same kind of deep dive on the friend who got put through almost as much, the video is sitting right there on the screen. So go spend some time with them next. But thanks so much for watching, commenting, and have a good one.